12-time world champion Demetrius Johnson makes his much-anticipated debut at One Championship.
The one flyweight world Grand Prix champion!
Well, obviously I'm the number one contender. I got a date with Adrian Reyes.
A world title showdown for the flyweight gold. Well, Adriano said Demetrius was dominating UFC, I was dominating One Championship.
DJ's hurt! Adriano Moraes defeats Demetrius Johnson!
Everybody knows who is the best in this division.
If you know, you know. If you didn't, you know now.
Tell you what, I can take a knee to the jaw and get right back up.
The rematch we've all been waiting for.
We flew them all the way from Singapore to Calabasas, California. They are two of the biggest names in One Championship who just announced a major deal with Amazon Prime, bringing 5 fights here to North America. It is the Vice President of One Championship, Rich the Ace Franklin, my personal favorite fighter of all time, and World Champion Angela Lee, the atom weight champion from Hawaii, on this week's Food Truck Diary, and I'm feeding them breakfast burritos. Let's go.
Make it thick, super thick. From my wallet to my check. I don't want it if it's skinny, but I need it if it's thick. Need a thick girl for the thick boy. I need everything I get, super thick boy. You ready? Used to have a model bitch, now I got a thick one. Yeah, I do. Last night went late, yeah, we had a sick one. Got very drunk. Yeah, and I like.
Let's do it. We got a very special episode of Food Truck Diaries. We have two of the biggest stars from One Championship. We have the VP of One Championship. You guys know him as Rich Ace Franklin, one of the most famous fighters on the frickin' planet. My personal favorite. You're one of the reasons I got involved in MMA. I used to wear your brown and pink American Fighter shorts. They're my favorite shorts.
I had to wear those because they stick out, right? Even if you were watching a fight at a sports bar and you couldn't hear the sound or see anybody, it's like, I like that guy because he's wearing brown and pink. It stuck out. That's why.
Yeah, it got me. And I mean, you know this. You also look like Jim Carrey, who's also my favorite comedy store legend.
I can't escape. I haven't been able to escape that since I was 16, unfortunately.
It's not a bad thing, you know.
It's not the best thing.
I mean, he's a legend, dude. Ace Ventura. But and then next to you got, I think, the face of One Championship, all the way from Hawaii, Angela Lee, the atomweight world champion, the youngest champion in the history of MMA. What were you, 19 when you turned world champion?
Yeah, I was 19 years
Youngster.
old.
Yeah, so I appreciate you guys coming, man. You're obviously in Los Angeles to announce the big partnership with Amazon. You guys are coming over to the States.
We are.
Coming over to the American market. You got, what, 5 shows planned? 5 big shows?
5 shows for the remainder of 2022. The first one being August 26th. It's going to be the rematch of Adriano Moraes and Demetrius Johnson. So it'll be
great fight.
1 on Prime Video 1, Moraes versus Johnson 2. That'll be the 26th of August. It starts at 9 p.m. as the lead card, and the main card is at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
And that fight is where?
That fight is going to be broadcast from Singapore, but airing during U.S. prime time.
Oh, gotcha. So it will still be in Singapore where you guys, do your thing, but broadcast it here.
I guess you could call this like our soft launch in the U.S. because all of 2022 we're going to be broadcasting still from that side of the planet. We'll have shows in Singapore as well as various other locations in Asia.
But friendly to American time zones.
All the Prime Video shows will be during U.S. prime time. So this one, the main card, like I said, starts at 10 p.m. lead card at 9. And all the other shows for the remainder of the year, the schedule, they'll start at a similar time frame, but we don't have those times set yet. 2023 is when we're looking to actually be on ground in the U.S.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And Angela, so there's 5 big fights. Are they? I'm sure. And I was talking to the PR guy Josh. I told Rich this. I think for One Championship, you guys are brilliant. You obviously taken over the international market. You guys are crushing it. So you're trying to do the same thing here in the States. I think their road to success here in America goes through you. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. So if it fails, no pressure. Yeah. But out of Hawaii, you look at your fighting style. You're a mama, so I think a lot of people relate to it. you know? So for you with these 5 fights, is there anything, I'm willing to bet, I would assume Chatri and Rich find something for you to be on one of those major 5 fights.
Yeah, definitely. I'm super stoked about the deal, and putting my number in to get on one of the shows. Obviously, it's it's huge. Amazon card. I'm super excited to see the live events and showing on US primetime.
Because I'm sure in Hawaii you're the big name on the island, and obviously Hawaii has a history of phenomenal fighters. Started with BJ Penn. He was kind of the pioneer of that, and BJ might be your freaking governor. He's running for governor.
We'll see, yeah.
He might, I think he's gonna win, to be honest. But so obviously Hawaii loves their fighters.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this being more friendly to the time zone, especially for Hawaii, the fan base has to be excited about that.
Definitely. In the car I just searched what 9 p.m. Eastern time is to Hawaii time. That's 3 p.m. That's perfect. People don't have to stay up till 3 a.m. It's a great switch off. And in Hawaii, everyone loves the fights. They support us like crazy, the fighters. And I'm just so grateful to be fighting out of there. And now, it's accessible to everybody.
Yeah. Explain this, Rich, because I think for the American fan base, one of the things that makes one championship special, I mean, obviously the production value, the talent of the fighters. You guys have Muay Thai fights, you have high-level submission grappling fights, then obviously high-level MMA fights. But also the thing that separates you guys from a lot of other organizations is the weigh-in process, like the weight, I'd say the weight limits,
weight and hydration,
hydration thing, right? So you fight at atom weight, which and at the press conference yesterday, one of the reporters asked about atom weight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, is it confusing for fans? And like, when Victa has atom weight, so it's like they're familiar with it, but your guys is weighing kind of hydration thing is a little. Can you explain?
Yeah, think about it like this, Brennan. For example, when I fought at 185, I'm a middleweight, but I'm walking around at about 208, right? And so I'm cutting from 208 down to 185. Really, I'm walking around at a light heavyweight weight, in essence. So when we initially made the switch, all of our weight classes kind of moved up. So what you would call light heavyweight here, we would call middleweight.
Oh, gotcha.
All that being said, so there's a shift, but all that being said is that the intent of the hydration protocol, what we do is that when the athletes come in during fight week, they get tested for their hydration and their weight. So the process works like this. 2 days before the match, you walk in, you pee. You pee, we test your urine for the specific gravity, see what your hydration is. If you're on hydration, you step on the scale. You have to make hydration and weight simultaneously. Then, if you do that, a day before the fight, you repeat the same process. You have to make hydration and weight simultaneously again.
And making hydration is what?
It's making sure like if you pee right now, I can use like an instrument, like a refractometer.
It's like Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
not hydrated.
The less hydrated you are, the more yellow typically your pee is. And so you're testing the specific gravity of the urine, like getting all scientific, but you're testing the specific gravity of the urine, which is basically the amount of particles that are in your urine. And the more particles you have in your urine, the more dehydrated you are, in essence.
So it's safer for fighters. It's also easier for fighters. And I would assume you're getting a better performance out of the fighters because they're not killing themselves to make
this is one of the things I talk about. I think that one of the reasons why we have a 70% finish rate and really exciting
70%?
fights in one championship is because the athletes, just one example is because the athletes are fully hydrated. So you're not coming in and depleting and performing. Like if you and I are fighting each other and we both have to cut, it's like, well, we now have to manage our weight cuts, right? So we're going to come back and we're going to perform at a percentage of our optimal level because we've been dehydrated,
correct,
right? And so it's like, well, who can do it better? Can I come back to 95% and you only make it to 90%?
Yes.
So instead it's like, well, we're both at 100% performance level because we're both hydrated and we're able to put 100% on the line. And I think that that's one of the reasons why we have such exciting fights.
Yeah, it also just makes sense when you think about it because you want the best fights possible. And if the guys feel good and they're fighting at an optimal level, you're going to get a better product. Well, but your challenge is explain, the commission here in the States is a beast. So when you guys come to the States, you have to explain that to the commission, right?
Yeah, but it's not, see here, there are other things that are part of the global rule set because we have athlete safety as a real priority for us. So for example, our organization requires athletes to do fight week CT scans. just to make sure that you didn't, like, because you're going to do your CT during, like, your medical protocol,
Yeah.
like you did when you
Yeah.
were fighting, right?
Yep.
Well, you'll do all that during the medical protocols that we have for you that are 4 or 5 weeks outside of the fight. But come fight week, when you show up, we stick you back in the hospital and CT your head again to make sure that you haven't had any, damage from the
During
last week of
training.
training, right?
Yeah, wow.
And so protocols like that and the hydration, with the conversations I've had with the athletic commissions here in the U.S., like, there's no issue when you're going above and beyond their standards for approval. Because if a state wants to approve you, they'll say, okay, well, here's our minimum standards of approval. Well, we're gonna do our weight and hydration through third party anyway. We're gonna do, the CTs are technically third party. It's a hospital. So any protocols that we want to do above and beyond their minimum standard, they're cool with.
They're in it. So it should be a pretty easy transition for you guys to fight wherever, especially some of the more stricter commissions.
Yeah,
like California.
There's
Nevada.
going to be some commissions that are going to be slow to adopt, for sure. But I've personally, I've been back in the U.S. since June of last year. I've been working on our U.S. expansion here, and one of those things is speaking to athletic commissions. I've spoken to several of them that have already given us approval in their states, and several others that are like, well, we're definitely interested, and we want to see kind of proof of concept here in the U.S.
I think too, as far as one championship expanding into the states, I think you're going to be a big part of that. And then also, if Rich Franklin comes in and was like, "Hey guys, this is what we want to do," I'm sure it gets their attention. Like, and I'm sure Chatri, who's brilliant. There's a reason why you're the face of this expansion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll say this, that it probably makes a difference when I'm calling an athletic commission's office as opposed to just another executive in the company.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Hell yeah. You call me out, I'm going to listen. You know what I'm saying? If freaking Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s give me tips how to drive, I'm like, that makes sense, Like, if Rich Franklin comes in and is like, hey, this is what I think we should be doing, they're going to listen way more,
Yeah.
You are massive here, dude. Massive.
Well, listen, I'm going to try to stay humble on this, but
Yeah.
you go ahead and
let
continue.
me do it.
continue running with
I'll
that.
Be your hype man, dude. I'll be your hype
You're a great hype man. I love this.
I got you, dude. So you were, I assume, explain to me how in the hell did you get linked up with One Championship? Because you were such, before you answer, because you were such kind of the poster boy for the UFC. Because when you think about it, the UFC and just mixed martial arts in general had kind of this, storyline about, rugged, dumb guys, meatheads. And then you were a former math teacher. What grade did you teach?
High school.
High school. So
Freshman to seniors.
So, you're an educated dude. You're hopefully good at math, and you're a math teacher that decided to, fight grown men in your underwear in a steel cage. So I think at that time...
We all make good life choices.
Yeah, right? So I think at that time, it kind of portrayed the mixed martial arts, especially the UFC, in a different light, where people are like, oh, these guys aren't just... These are real athletes. Like, they have other options.
No, if you actually... I mean, people forget even 10, 12 years ago. Like, I was just recently watching a video where I was in Germany promoting at that point in time, and the kind of questions that we were getting asked, like, so wait a minute, you can actually choke people? And this was in like 2009, right? Now,
Which isn't that long ago.
Yeah, it's not. And so people forget that was the state of MMA back when I was champion. Like, we were, still being compared to human cockfighting and explaining the fact that these fights could go to the ground, and the thought of, in the Western mentality, the thought of being able to hit somebody when they're down. And every film you've ever seen is like somebody gets knocked down, like a cowboy movie. It's like, well, get up, right?
Up, yeah.
And so that we had to get that past that entire stigma. And I was exactly what we needed here in the States at that time, because we were fighting to get past that, in essence.
Agree.
And so coming full circle at the end of my career, like towards the end of my career, I went down to Singapore to teach a seminar at Evolve. And
just randomly got hired to go down there and teach?
No, they reached out to me, and actually I went down there with Hume. The two of us went down there to teach seminar. I was still competing at the time, but
real quick, for those that don't know, Matt Hume is DJ Demetrius Johnson's coach, and he's also involved with One Championship.
Matt was my coach at one point in time as well.
And Matt's like, he's the Phil Jackson of MMA coaches.
Dude, yeah.
He's mastermind.
That's why they call him the Wizard.
They call him the Wizard?
Exactly.
That makes sense.
He's the nicest guy ever until you grapple
so cool.
with him. Have you ever grappled with him?
No.
Oh God, it's like grappling a wet blanket. It's
really?
terrible. Oh,
I didn't.
I'll tell you a story about that after this. But I went down there to teach a seminar. Met some some of the executives at One Championship, and they were like, hey, if you would ever be interested in a position when you're done, retired from fighting, let us know.
And did you want to do like, certain guys get done with fighting and they're like, I'm good, man. Like, did you see this like as a career choice?
Not initially, because I was still in competition at the time. And even when I retired at first, there was this transition. I can distinctly remember after I took the job with One, sitting in the stadium for the first probably year and a half of events. And the whole time I was sitting there, I hated it because
it's uncomfortable.
I had the same feelings that I had as if I was sitting in the locker room.
It's triggering.
Right,
PTSD,
yeah, exactly. And it really took me some time to actually escape that, to be able to sit and watch the matches.
Kind of change the way your brain works. I to this day, it's tough for me to go to fights. I get PTSD. It's triggered.
But with that being said, I've done so many different things for One Championship. I did a travel show called One Warrior Series. It's called Rich Franklin's One Warrior Series, where I traveled around, recruited talent with a production crew, and we told the stories, like whether it was like something cultural or whatever we got into, and I initially helped set up like the merchandise department for One, and just did several different things,
jack of all trades.
I don't know if I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm kind of just slotted in where they're lacking real talent, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll try to say it that way.
Yeah. So then, I assume you watch the fights. You watch everything, like all organizations, or just One Championship?
No, I stick to mostly One Championship, and then I'll watch some of the bigger matches here and there. But it's just difficult. But keeping up with UFC, Bellator, PFL, and Eagle FC is on the rise now. And there's just there's so many organizations out there that when you sit and talk fight all week, and then your friends are like, hey man, you want to watch the fights this weekend? I'm like, no, I worked all week.
Nothing
man.
worse, yeah.
Right?
Nothing worse.
So it's
or when you break down a fight, and then I'll be at Starbucks, I'm like, hey man, what did you think of Angela versus Stamp? I'm like, can you listen to the podcast, dude? I just broke it down for an hour. Like, do we have to do this? What's up, Thick fam? Let's take a little break from chatting with Angela Lee, the champ, and also one of my faves, Rich Franklin, and we'll get right back to it because I got something to tell you guys about. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of music, a lot of podcasting, and I do it when I'm running, when I'm on my bike. But look at my ears. They're not designed for earbuds. That's why people make fun of me when I post videos when I'm riding my bike, because I got wires in. And why is that? Because my ears are like tortellinis. Until my friends at Raycon Wireless came along, they're the best earbuds I've ever used. I'm telling you, they're the only ones that fit my ears because they come with different gel tips. I can fit it to my exact earpiece. So now you're not going to make fun of me anymore with the cords. That's it, man. Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever with optimized gel tips. I'm telling you, dude, for the perfect in-ear fit. That's why I ride with Raycons. They don't budge. Trust me. It's the only wireless earbud I can use. That's why I love Raycon. That's why I've asked them to be part of this show, part of all my shows. Raycon gives you 8 hours of playtime, a 32-hour battery life. Raycons are priced just right. You get the quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. It's no wonder Raycon's everyday earbuds have over 50,000 five-star reviews. They're fantastic. Noise isolation, awareness mode. All right, the earbud, I tap for maximum volume. When I'm on the bike, you're cruising, dodging a rattlesnake, I just tap it. All good, let's tap it, okay? Go to buyraycon.com/Schaub, SCHAUB, today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon, RAYCON.com/Schaub, SCHAUB, to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com/Schaub. Enjoy. A lot of y'all been waiting for this vacation with your mans or your woman or your kids, and you're going international and you don't speak a lick of the language. Don't be that weird random dude who's lost searching around this foreign town. Why don't you pick up some skills? Why don't you pick up another language? It's easy. Take it from your boy. My girl's super Mexican. My kids talk trash to me in Spanish. I have no clue what they're talking about. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. There's Babbel. That's right, Babbel. They make it fun and easy. It's bite-sized language lessons. There's still time to learn a new language, even at my age, dude. People say, oh, you're too old to learn the piano. Wrong. You want to learn a new language? I got you guys covered. Babbel, you only need 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to learn a new language? We all have 10 minutes, all right? Other language learn apps use AI for their lesson plans. Not my friends at Babbel. Lessons were created by over 150 language experts, all right? And it's scientifically proven to be effective. We're taking the guesswork out. We're talking about science. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, German. Your boys, on Spanish, so I know what my kids are saying about me. All right? We got you, man. There's so many ways to learn with Babbel. It's so much fun. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. You're never too old, fam. I'm telling you, I have CT and I learned Spanish. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you get an additional 3 months free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com. Use the promo code Schaub, SCHAUB. That's Babbel, BABBEL.com. Promo code Schaub. Now let's get back to the program because we're eating breakfast burritos. So, it's interesting, man. It's cool what you guys are doing. It's cool you're at the forefront of it. And then for you, Angela, I would assume, because Hawaii's such a small community and you guys take so much pride in your fighters, and, there's a lot of, talent out of Hawaii. So the gym you train at, is there a lot of young talent? And then I would assume, it is, especially in the States, kids grow up, they're not saying, I want to play in the CFL. Like, everyone's goal is the NFL. So I assume at your gym, it's in America, it's like, I want to be in the UFC. And then you're like, hold on. Have you looked at one championship? Because you've never fought for any other organization. Like, all you know is one championship. I feel like you've had it good. You know what I'm saying? Because you're fighting one championship.
Yeah, definitely in Hawaii, they know one. Because there's a lot of one champion fighters from Hawaii, and they're just fight fans in general, right? So
yeah, they love it.
But because Christian and I, we teach classes at United, and the next generation coming up, they're exposed to seeing us fighting and one, and so there's other options, and I think it's important that they have other options, and not just like UFC, like. When I first started doing MMA, everyone's like, yeah, you do UFC?
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was like, no, man, it's MMA. It's different. So now there's that distinction going on, and everyone's getting more educated. And, like I said, they're watching one championship shows. They're tuning in, and it's great.
Speaking of young fighter, young talent, what about your sister?
Oh,
Talk about that.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She just turned 18, actually. Just graduated in May. Graduated high school.
She wants to follow in your footsteps?
She already
fought
is.
3 times already, as a professional MMA fighter, and that was before she turned 18.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I was sitting here like, Angela's youngest title record may actually get broken by her own sister.
Nuts.
She's good too, man.
Is she's talented?
We actually did this piece on the two of them where they're training, like they're doing the same drills, and it's like a side-by-side video, and it's pretty. It's really. I'm getting chills.
No,
I'm no
cool,
joke.
man.
I get chills. It's cool, like watching the two of them because it's like shadows of each other. Just watching them train. Yeah.
Do you want your sister following your footsteps?
I want her to do, whatever is her passion, and she's so talented. Like she's smarter than the rest of us. Like she's got the brains.
Than you?
She honestly, her style is different. It's like a combination of me and Christian. Like, so when my dad started teaching us, he taught all of us growing up.
When you were little, your dad, who's your coach now?
Yeah, he's been my only coach. And his style has changed, and he's evolved and developed, and shown us new techniques. But I think the fact that she also has Christian and I as like coaches and mentors to help her, I mean, she gets the best of everything. So yeah, she's way better than
Have you ever seen Soldier with Kurt Russell?
Old school, yeah.
Yeah, right. Remember how he was like engineered as a child?
Yeah.
Like
That's
they're dead. Ken. That's what he's done with his entire family. They're all killers. They got younger brothers and sisters that come up too. All of them.
I mean, it'll be the lifeline of one championship. You just keep signing all the family.
Yeah, I think their objective is to erase the other Lee from
right? Yeah. But your dad's background is what?
So he grew up doing martial arts, but he kind of self-taught. He went to different gyms. He actually also trained with Matt Hume.
That makes sense.
I was just like 1 year old, and Matt remembers me. The first time he saw me, he's like, I remember I seen you. You were just a baby. And I was like,
nuts.
what? It's before my time, right? But yeah, he went around training, and his whole thing was about, self-defense. And so for self-defense, you need to know all areas, stand up, ground. And so he's had a lifetime of martial arts, and one thing he wanted to definitely pass on to us is to be able to protect ourselves. So grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to protect you from like a mugger or something with a purse. He didn't think you were gonna be a world champion.
No,
he's
I
all,
think
Jesus
he
Christ,
did.
this really got out of hand. Yeah,
I think he did. He just because like don't let her fool you. Her mom is a
Badass
champion.
too?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Jeez, that's nuts.
It's the whole family, man.
The whole
It's the whole
family's
family.
badass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My parents are. They're really humble. They don't like to talk about themselves, but they are.
You don't either. Yeah, you guys are real humble. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I dig that. But before I feed you guys, and you don't have a fight coming up, Rich, you're retired, so you can eat too.
You
right?
see
You're in
Suzuki.
shape, though.
Yeah, right?
Jim.
Like
Yeah, you're in shape.
What do we got on the menu today?
Today it's like it's bun in blanket. So I think they're known for burgers, but they're doing a breakfast because it's early. We're shooting this early. They're doing a breakfast kind of thing for us. So it's breakfast.
Well, just wait until you watch me try to order then.
Oh, me too. It's gonna be a nightmare. But before I feed you guys, my question for you and Chatri is, like, you guys are, and to be honest, I was naive to this as well. Like the amount of exposure that you guys have internationally, and like how big one championship is compared to, forget UFC, forget all these other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, you look at the Nelson ratings, it's nuts.
Yeah,
nuts. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I went to the press conference yesterday, and they have the Nelson ratings. It shows like how big is it? It's like second. I forget what was first. But like, you guys are massive.
Yeah,
and like I knew you were big, and everyone's just like, yeah, one championship's big outside the U.S. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I knew it was, but you don't realize how big it is. So my question would be, I mean, you guys got the market cornered outside the United States.
Yeah,
like, why? Who cares here?
On
you know
the
what I'm
Nielsen,
saying?
on the Nielsen report yesterday, there was a stat that I cited that we're ranked in the top 5 of broadcast viewership, TV viewership for sports properties in 2021, and we're broadcast in 150 countries. But the reality is this: like, when you look at sports properties, you look at some of the biggest sports properties in the world. NFL, for example, right?
NFL, NBA, yeah.
Right. NFL is one of the largest sports properties in the world, and that's primarily an American sport. I mean, people outside of America really don't.
They've tried expanding.
Yeah,
It's just
and,
not.
And the NFL will continue. They're doing games in Europe now, and it will help with international exposure. And I think some of it's catching on. But the point is that they got that number 1 spot just with the United States alone, and that's the power of the sports market here in the U.S. And that's why we've captured that side of the plan, and it's time for us to come here.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think you guys are doing it right. You got a great team. You got great talent. And then you guys also, like the way you found Stamp, like Fairtax.
Oh,
monster.
Yeah.
She just came to like a tryout, like an open tryout.
So that was part of the show that I was shooting.
You guys would hold tryouts?
So I did a travel show, and on the travel show, sometimes we would hold tryouts. And I held a tryout in Bangkok there at a martial arts school. And I'm sitting there watching these 2 guys trying out on the mats, and they're doing pad work and doing their thing. And I just hear this cannon going off. Like, I've told
And
the story.
where's this at?
In Bangkok.
So it's just like a million Muay Thai fighters.
Yeah, and also
no
I hear this kick, and I'm like, woof, and I'm like, what the heck? And I look over, and I see this little girl kicking the pads. I'm like, oh man, this girl's talented. I didn't even have to watch her. And the rest of the tryouts, I'm not even looking at the guys trying out. I'm like staring over here at this other girl, like,
Yeah, you got a Muay Thai unicorn there.
Yeah. And so immediately, like the moment we pulled her in, the organization knew, and she's got a great backstory as well. Like a lot of families in Thailand, they use their children to prize fight, and that helps contribute to the household income. And so you'll see footage of Stamp fighting at the age of 6.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And she's so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, she's such a nice little thing. Mm-hmm. And then one championship was like, cool, Stamp, fight Angela.
Yeah.
And then Angela's like, cool story, Stamp. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to submit you. Yeah. She landed a good body shot, though.
Oh, yeah.
And that was after,
Thanks
what,
for
a
that.
2-year layoff? Year layoff? Like, you were inactive for a little bit.
It was 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Because you had a baby, right?
Yep.
Baby boy or girl?
Girl.
Well, is she signed already to one championship, or what's the deal here?
That's it.
Yeah, she already signed.
She's
10-year
well. I'll
contract.
tell you this much. So I was asking her yesterday. She told me that her daughter's already walking, but the reality is her daughter's already shooting. She's duck walking and shooting doubles.
Does walking and throwing sidekicks.
Ken's already got her going.
She can't walk, but she throws a mean spinning back kick.
I'm not gonna lie, she watches us in the gym every day, So
Oh, she's downloading all the data.
she does. She punches me in the face.
Oh.
I'm telling you, she got a
She's gonna be a
temper.
rascal. So you had the baby, then you came back, and whose idea was it for because usually you know, especially with your status in one championship, you usually can request, like, you know, it goes, Rich, you have a long time off. You don't want to jump right back into the pool of, you know, monsters. Kind of want to warm up, but you just decided to, on the huge card, fight Stamp Fairtex. And you were in trouble a little bit there. She landed that body shot, you know. Stamps is a beast, but then once it went to the ground, it was game over.
Yeah, man. So that was the fight. That was the fight I got called. I was like, I never turned down a fight. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. But I just knew I needed the time, you know. It was a long camp, like my longest camp ever. It felt like it was going on for a long time. But that's what I needed to get to the point where, you know, get back to where I was. And yeah, that fight was great.
Had to feel good taking that long time off, becoming a mama. And then, you know, Stamps, no joke, man. Well, that's a dangerous fight.
On top of it, it's not like that she just fought Stamp, but we ran a Grand Prix of all the best atomweights, all the best female atomweights, and then it was like the creme de la creme.
Yeah, and Stamp won that,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
rolled through that monster.
Yeah. So it was like the toughest of the tough comeback for her.
And Stamp's outfit at the press conference definitely, you know, won the MVP for outfits. Yeah. She came in that traditional Thai outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize her when we were in the hotel.
Same.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this celebrity?
Yeah. Oh, until they said something, I was like, is that royalty? I was like, what's
Yeah.
happening here? All right, let me feed you guys.
Well, let's do this.
Let me feed you guys.
All right.
Let's take a little break from chatting with the legend, Rich Franklin, and the champ, soon-to-be champ, Angela Lee at One Championship. Because, listen, I'm talking about security. You can't hire Angela Lee, myself, and Rich Franklin to protect your house all the time. We don't have the time. We're too busy, all right? There's better ways to go about it. And I'm here to tell you about my friends. I'm talking about home security with Simply Safe. Simply Safe home security, can trust it, man. Simply Safe is advanced technology that puts the safety of me and my family first. Here's why I love it, and I have it all around my crib. With 24/7 professional monitoring, Simply Safe's agents call you the moment a threat is detected, and they dispatch police or first responders in case of an emergency. Even if you're not home, you're on vacation, cool. They're still working for you. They're taking care of it, so you're not so stressed out while you're on vacation, you're on tour, whatever it is. Simply Safe's monitoring agents truly care about your well-being and are highly trained to help keep you calm and safe during stressful situations. Stay on the line with you the whole time till the help gets there. Simply Safe's customer-first policy makes sure you're taken care of. Listen, affordable plans start at less than $1 a day. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees, because feeling safe at home shouldn't break the bank. Customize the perfect system for your crib in just a few minutes. You got a few minutes? Cool. Go to simplysafe.com/Schaub, SCHAB. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Just go to simplysafe.com/Schaub. Now let's get back to the program. Thanks for doing this, man.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Yeah, short notice, early.
Are we allowed to order off menu?
Oh.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let
You
these.
can go healthy on us?
You know I am.
Yeah.
You can't be this age and look this way eating egg sandwiches.
Don't make us feel bad.
No.
Well, listen,
Ugh.
I'm gonna let you all go first,
I'm
so
gonna
that you can
let her
order
go
guilt
first,
free.
yeah. What are you
first.
thinking?
I'm gonna do the breakfast burrito. Yeah.
Solid
with
order.
the sausage.
Sausage?
Please. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Rich, go out, you order, and then I'll vibe off that. I don't
I
be the fat ass.
No, I
dude.
want to see. I want to see what you're gonna do
no,
first.
No. I want to see what you're ordering,
See,
dude.
This is the reason why this is a bad idea, because whatever you order isn't going to change what I order.
Yeah, but
what I order is going to
110%,
right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's
just
not
I would eat healthy.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Do a mock.
She's currently fighting.
Okay.
So she can get
All right.
whatever.
Do you have an egg white option?
We can do it, right?
Okay, sweet. I'll tell you what I want. I want 12 egg whites. Yeah, I said that right.
Nuts.
And a bowl of the chia seed pudding.
I was looking at the.
There you go.
That sounds good, man. 2 of those.
He's sticking to his nutrition too.
Yeah,
And
2 of
what else
those.
do you want with that?
Yeah.
And he wants the egg sandwich too.
Yeah. No, I will. I'll do the same thing. I'll eat like Rich Franklin today. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
go. Got the food. It looks delicious. You've already got started in yours. I don't blame you. Now, I want to be very upfront, Rich. I was trying to copy your diet, and then I saw Andrew's burrito, and I was like, listen, I will trade you this chia pudding for half of your burrito. Before Rich recognized what's going on.
We could send somebody out to go get another a burrito order for you.
I was trying to get with your diet, man. I'm just not made for that life.
I don't think a
dude.
half a burrito is going to be enough for you. I think you're going to need another burrito.
You know what? I actually don't eat that much. You know what? Here's the thing. I've been carnivore. I cheat here, and then if I'm like with my kids at the movie, I'll cheat on my carnivore diet. But since carnivore, like I'm messing up the brand, man. I'm becoming, thin boy. It's not good. It's not good. It's going to ruin the business.
What do you weigh now?
Like today, I'm currently probably like 247,
Okay.
246. But I was 272.
I mean, you look good.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you.
How many calories are you eating a day? Do you
Couldn't tell you. Dude,
track?
sometimes I'll intermittent fast during the morning, and then especially like a Monday or Tuesday, I have so many shows. I won't realize I didn't eat anything till about 3, 4 o'clock. Can't be healthy, but
No, it's
your
not.
boy's losing weight.
Yeah.
You know what
are
I'm
you
saying?
trying to lose weight?
I don't want to be big.
No.
No. I don't want to be too big.
No. What's your ideal weight then?
Oh man, I mean, dude, don't get me started. I mean, I would love to be like 220.
220.
Even though I look like Dallas
I'm
Flyers
220.
Club. I know.
You're like 3
we'd be
inches taller
sweet,
than me.
dude. No, we'd be sweet together. We'd be training partners. Just be real skinny.
Yeah, I eat north of 4,000 calories every day.
Oh damn. But you were notoriously known for having like your workouts, like your training camps were nutsos.
Yeah,
like that was the word around town, around the water cooler of the boys.
Yeah.
Like your workouts were nuts. I'm sure there's still a degree of that. I'm sure
Yeah.
your workouts aren't like,
No, when I go to the gym, man, I tear it up. Like when I'm in the gym, it's just the difference is the volume now. You don't. When you're in fight camps, you're training
a lot.
25 hours a week, and now
your job.
I'm training 7 or 8. But when I'm in the gym, man, I'm on it. Like on
Really?
it. Yeah, intensity.
And for you, Angela, your dad creates all your camps, like as far as he does conditioning, everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
everything in house.
Dang. Is it? I don't know, a conflict of interest having your dad as your head coach.
I know he's like always looking out for my best interest, so that's one thing I never have to question.
True.
But it is tough. We're family. Disagreements here and there sometimes.
You work together and then you're around each other all the time,
Yeah.
which is good and bad.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
lot.
But
Definitely.
imagine what those family fights are like, right? Like,
Oh, man.
Dude, her husband's a world champion black belt. So I wonder what like arguments in that house is like.
Dicey.
No, we're very
No,
civil.
we're good. Yeah, we're
Very
good.
Yeah.
No, she seems pretty chill. Yeah.
I just be like, I'll see you tomorrow at training.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, see you tomorrow. It's sparring day. Yeah. Your little sister's talking shit. See you tomorrow at the gym. Rich, where did the idea come up with to expand not just MMA but doing the Muay Thai and then also the high level submission grappling?
That's Chatri's idea. And
his
I'll be
idea.
honest with you, I wasn't a fan. Like when he hit, we were on a call one time, like one of our meetings, and he.
How long ago is this?
It's been.
Years.
Yeah, now. I mean,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking like time is just like time warped since COVID and everything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like so. It seems like it was just last year, but I know it's probably been 3 or 4 years now.
And he was like, I want to do submission grappling Muay Thai.
And we were in this meeting, and I was like, I thought, who wants to go to an MMA event, like an MMA event, to watch Muay Thai? So I'm sitting there, I'm watching the first event with Muay Thai in it, and I was like, man, that was good.
It's high level Muay Thai.
Right, and I was like, that was good, but I don't want to like it still. Like I tried to still not like it,
Yeah.
And it was just so good, man. And with the Muay Thai that we do with the 4-ounce gloves, and then we kept adding things, and so the whole concept, he was the brainchild on that, and it's.
Yeah.
Now that it's unfolded, I'm like, okay, I'm
great
swallowing
idea.
my pride on that. It was a great idea.
Yeah. Remember, I've always championed this idea.
But I would like to pretend like I was that guy that was
like. Remember when we came up with the
planting
idea,
seed.
Chacha?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
But I do like. I think as a hardcore, and I watch everything. I love it. I love the submission grappling, especially at that high level. It's great to see. Muay Thai is great, and then the MMA is great, and then you guys even mixed it with DJ,
Yeah.
where it was a round of Muay Thai, and then a round of straight up MMA.
Yep. With,
again,
it was DJ and Rodtang.
Rodtang, who's a savage, super savage. But what were you gonna say?
That match too. I remember thinking, if I was DJ, I would have gone out in that match and I would have utilized like a clinch, just to eat time off the clock, right? Because they were 3-minute rounds, so I'd come in and I would clinch.
All he has to do is get through that first round.
Exactly.
Just don't get knocked out.
Exactly.
Shell up like a turtle.
He didn't until about maybe a minute and a half, a little over a minute and a half
I
in the
know.
round, and like he was exchanging, and
I know.
Rodtang landed a couple. I was like, come on, dude.
I know. What are you
thinking?
doing, dude? You're representing all of MMA.
But no, he got it done. It was nice.
Yeah, I loved it. It's different. I think a lot of people dug it. I do think coming over to the States, if you know, that's where I think educating the American fans on it, because you know, kickboxing, even though there's glory at a super high level here, you know, and a lot of other kickboxing, Muay Thai organizations have tried to do well in America. For whatever reason, it just doesn't. It hasn't caught on, and I don't know why. Because think about MMA, everyone wants to see a knockout. All they care about is stand up. They hate when it goes to the ground. Not everybody, but they love. So it's like, well, you know, this is guaranteed not to go to the ground. It's just at the highest level, the highest level strikers in the world. So I don't know if it's the message or if it's just bad marketing. I don't know what's going on there. But if you guys could figure that out,
well, I think you
got something.
I think that what ends up happening with our event is that we have the right balance of things. You come in, you're gonna see a card, 10, 12 fights on the card. Probably primarily MMA fights, but then you're going to have 1 or 2 Muay Thai fights, 1 or 2 kickboxing fights, a submission grappling match, and so you know, in a 12-fight card, you know, you're going to have 6, 7 MMA matches, and then these things get sprinkled in. So you're not sitting there watching kickboxing back to back to back.
Yeah.
So that when you see a high level, you know, we had Jonathan Haggerty here yesterday. So when you see a high level stand-up fighter like that, and his elbows,
oh my God,
right?
He's such a savage.
I think that in those kind of doses, it can be appealing to the American audience. I believe that this event, because we're not an MMA event, this is something the American audience has never seen outside of the whole production quality of it. It's like, this is a different kind of event, and I think that that's what's going to appeal to the audience here.
I think especially right now, and you know, especially in America, it's like it's, you know, the entertainment value, right? And like I think with One Championship, like the walkouts are very, I'd say Pride-ish. If you remember the Pride FC, like it's very Pride-ish with that. And then you know the production value is super high, but then it's also it's kind of like, I think he says at the press conference, it's kind of like a you know, a rock show mixed with fighting. Like it's this high level, like high energy kind of product.
Yeah.
Which I think Americans can relate to, and that kind of separates you from the other organizations.
Were you in the studio that day? I think it was Joe Rogan's show when Eddie Bravo was talking about his experience down when he came to Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were there on that episode.
Yep.
And he was talking about it. Like, being executive for the company and seeing what we do with those, like the LED screen and the computerized, like all these like custom walkouts for the athletes. You know, it's like it's highlights and computer graphics and all this, and then that's mixed with like a laser light show and pyro and
that's an event, man.
Yeah, you know, smoke and when you work in that environment and you get used to seeing it, you forget, and then suddenly you see somebody like Eddie come in and they're sitting there watching this, like, wow, this is amazing, and it's a unique. Like these are custom done for every athlete that walks out.
Yeah, that's nuts.
You know, they'll have elements of like cultural, like you saw Stamp yesterday at the press conference, and so they'll have cultural elements like that intertwined into their walkouts, and so it adds a whole different level of hype. It translates on TV, but when you're live
in person, that's what
in person,
that's what
at the event, it's
Yeah, I think too, like you know, obviously you guys are huge internationally, like especially in the Asian market. They're more educated on, I feel like, mixed martial, like they don't, you know, boo when it goes to the ground, or even if it's a boring fight, they don't boo. You know, they're not as animated as Americans, right? Like we yell, or you'll hear like rip his head off, right? So in you know, Asia, they don't. They're very respectful, and they kind of, when it goes to the ground, they can appreciate, like, you know, passing guard, again, the side control and stuff like that. In America, there's less of an attention span almost. You know, they just want to see the entertainment value. So I think that's, you know, educating the American fans on that high level grappling, once they see it at the highest level in the kickboxing, Muay Thai, once they understand it, it's on.
I mean, you remember, like, even when I first won my title, like East Coast fans, man, like the moment that the fights hit the ground, man, it was 3 seconds and you were getting booed. And you've seen this education level, because it doesn't happen anymore.
No, I'm boxing here, you're gay. Yeah. Like, you got a takedown, dude.
No, but like now it doesn't happen, because the fans are. And I think on that side of the planet, the fans over there were unfamiliar. For example, I traveled to Myanmar. You've seen Lethwei matches before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lethwei is a lot like Muay Thai kickboxing for anybody that's not familiar with it, but they allow headbutts. And traditional Lethwei, they fight without gloves, and so when you see that, you're like, man, this is brutal. And when you travel to a country like that, they look at MMA as being brutal. And so you start explaining things, and I'll just say that, we traveled to countries where they didn't even know what MMA was. And we were able to educate and close the gap and seize those markets like really fast, really fast.
And with Chatri, I guess what makes him kind of the out. We can end on this with Chatri. Obviously, coming over, getting that deal with Amazon is massive. You have 5 fights that we broadcasted here on Amazon. To the American fan base. As far as him, the vision, I guess, I see his moves, and everyone tells me how brilliant he is. And obviously he, had the IQ to hire you and sign you, and he's doing the right things.
I don't know if that takes a whole lot of IQ.
Yeah. Why he's such an outlier? Like I don't hear, promoters. It is what it is. They're running the circus, so it's a tough gig. But I don't hear a lot of bad things being said about Chatri, which is unique when it comes to fight promoters.
Yeah. When you look at a company, like our company is built on a lot of the values that you get from martial arts, right? Honor and respect and integrity and courage, and these are the reasons why people put their kids in martial arts. Mm-hmm. Self-defense, but you also want them to learn things like respect.
Yep.
And so the entire company was built on that, and we have this kind of athlete-first mentality when it comes to those kind of things. So I think that's a lot of the reason why you don't hear these kinds of things about a promoter like that, because
Yep. Well, I'm glad you guys. I like to think you guys came all the way to LA to do this food truck, but I think you're here to celebrate this Amazon.
No, actually, I came here. I came here for the Food Truck Diaries, but then I figured I might as well hit the press conference while I was here.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Well, dude, I've been a fan for a hot second, man, and I love what you're doing with One Championship. And Angela, I told you this. I think you're the cash cow for One Championship to break into this American market. So hopefully you get a big fight announced soon, so Americans can tune in. And I wish you guys the best, man. Keep crushing it, both of you guys. Rich Franklin, Angela Lee, everybody.
12-time world champion Demetrius Johnson makes his much-anticipated debut at One Championship.
The One Flyweight World Grand Prix Champion!
Well, obviously I'm the #1 contender. I got a date with Adrian Reyes.
A world title showdown for the flyweight gold. While Adriano said Demetrius was dominating UFC, I was dominating One Championship.
DJ's hurt! Adriano Moraes defeats Demetrius Johnson!
Everybody knows who is the best in this division.
If you know, you know. If you didn't, you know now.
Tell you what, I can take a knee to the jaw and get right back up.
The rematch we've all